Go find your Indians and build with your Indians. We stand on the
Well,
shoulders of African American
when we see
fighters.
the word
That's what we
African
stand on.
American, when we see
We
the word
stand on
African
the shoulders
American,
of African
we have to
American
come and
fighters.
speak because
You are
that's a
not
misnomer.
African American. You're
No,
Indian.
that's a
Go
misnomer that was
find your
placed on a
Indians.
bunch of free people. African Americans a misnomer that was placed on
everybody
free
in the chat,
people.
I
So when
want
we
you to
see it,
see
we come to
this,
talk about it
and I
because
want
that's
y'all to
what they
know
did
that
to steal
we
our.
don't act
That's
like
the word. That's a
Deal with your
compound phrase that they
people.
use to
Deal
steal
with
our
your
Can I ask
identity.
him
people.
a
We are
question,
not your
please?
people. We
Can
are
I ask?
diaspora Africans. We are not Indians.
Yo,
You're
yo, yo,
not going
Can
to
Travis,
I ask him a
convince us.
question, host?
yo, yo,
I want to
can I
ask Wild Indian a question.
Yes.
Hey, you can ask me a question when I get done talking. As soon as y'all are
I
done
thought you were done. You're not really saying anything, sir. I'm sorry, respectfully.
He keeps getting cut
Hold
off.
on,
But y'all haven't been
Hold
listening. I
on.
can't
Wild
help it
Indian,
if
finish what you're
you're
saying. Finish what you're
allergic to
saying. Land your
truth.
plane. I thought you had asked Aiden a question. That's why I allow him to answer you.
You said what?
Didn't you ask TikTok a question? Didn't you mention him in a...
I was asking him when he was gonna shut up and let me talk. I was asking him when he was gonna start being respectful. That's what I asked him, but apparently he can't, contain himself.
Oh, go ahead. Let me tell you this still. It's kind of frustrating when you see a brother. I tell you, say him and your brother. So me see where I come from, cause me can't come say me a Indian to like you, but from me look on you, me see say you're my brother,
I mean,
So me understand it. When I look at you, I can see that you're my brother. So if I see my brother, I tell me say my something else when me know I am not that. So
Hey,
me
host,
that's true,
host. Let
bro.
me
But
tell
I
you.
don't.
Let me say something, host. One thing. It's like this. If I was to go to China and be like, "Yo, what's up? You look Japanese," and they'd be like, "Yo, I'm not Japanese. Respectfully, I'm Chinese." I shouldn't be mad at them. You, you know what I'm saying? I just misclassified them. It's the same thing. You come to America, you say, "Yo, you look African." No, I'm not African. I'm American. Oh, my fault. That's how it should
I have a
go. It's pretty
question, sir.
simple.
Host, I have a question, please.
Oh my
Please.
god, bro! This.
It's important.
all right, go ahead.
To the native person, the two on here, Pistol and Wild Indian. So if you are
I'm not
native, so
native.
because what you
I'm
did,
not native. Can you please stop
okay,
calling
what are
me that?
you? Are
Native
you
means that
you're
you
African American?
native means that you work for a government, and I don't have a tribal ID,
Oh wow,
which is
sir,
an ID card. I don't have that.
you
Please don't call me that.
native. Okay, sir, native
We're
is
not
the
native.
tribe, sir. But so because I'm trying to understand, because
I have a
you
Black
saying that
Law
you're
Dictionary too, so if you want that definition, I
okay,
can
sir.
give it to
But
you.
sir, the indigenous people who are indigenous to America, they are getting rights for that. They have rights. They get paid. They get a check
They
every
get
month from
paid
the
to
government.
They
uphold
don't
So do
have
you
certain
get a
rights.
laws
check?
that
They
So
they
do
don't
you
use
have
get a
as
check?
rights.
an ID
They
card.
do. They get okay. I'm
No,
talking to him.
no.
I'm talking to him.
No,
Those who are
but you
indigenous.
keep coming up here with
I,
the false
I'm
information. Like
talking
you
to
ain't never
him.
saying nothing.
I'm talking to him. If he's saying he's indigenous, he's
I
saying
am
that he's a
indigenous.
native tribe from America. Or that's what he's saying, right?
They don't all get paid,
You think getting a check means you have rights?
Yeah, because you have to prove that you are. Those who can prove that they are, they get a check. So why are you not getting your check?
they
No,
all
Because I know people that seriously, and I know people that
they're
are
the
indigenous
Native
to
Americans
America.
are
To
denizens. All
America,
right,
okay.
everything that they have is under a government
Who
trust. They
is
don't own
talking? Who
anything.
is
They don't
talking?
own
Who
anything, and
is
they have no
talking?
rights. So you're talking
Who is?
about the wrong people. So I'm just trying to
Who
educate
are
you.
you?
The Native
Who are you
Americans don't
talking
own
about?
anything. All right. As soon as the Native Americans try to go against the government, they're getting deported. All right. They have contracts that are allowing them to stay on reserved land that's only reserved for them until they
That's
speak
what
up.
he's
So
saying that he
if they
is,
really
but I
fight,
guess he's not. I don't know who he is.
if they really were to fight against the government the way that we've been fighting for so long, they would get sent somewhere else. All right,
Sir, I know what Native Americans are. I know,
their land is
sir.
under a government trust.
I
You
know
understand me?
what the
They do
Americans
not own
are.
a
I know
thing.
what
They have
Native
no
Americans
rights.
are.
So I'm trying to
Sir,
break it down to you.
stop.
And then when it comes
Stop.
to
You don't
Native
have to break it
Americans,
down to me.
native just
You
means that
don't
they
have
were
to break it
born in
down
a
to me.
place.
I know my history.
They're
I
gonna get
already know
deported.
that. I
Yo.
already, okay, stop.
Yeah,
Stop. Because what you're talking about doesn't even make, it has nothing to do with what I'm asking him.
Lakeisha,
He's
mute
saying
up.
that he's indigenous. He's saying that
Lakeisha.
he's native. That's what he said.
No,
Alright.
no, I never said I was native. I asked you to stop calling me native because native
Okay,
means
what are you,
influence of the
sir? What
government.
what are you? What are
Uh,
you?
my name says it right there.
No, what is your ethnicity? What is your lineage?
That's
What
what
is
it
your
says right
heritage?
there.
What is your culture?
I'm
That's
American.
that's it right
I've
there.
traced my people all the way back
You don't
to
even know what culture means, Lakeisha.
Okay, sir. No, stop. I'm not
Hey,
doing
thank
this.
y'all for the gifts, man. I
No.
love y'all too, man.
Lakeisha.
Hey, appreciate
Can we
y'all.
keep
Lakeisha.
going
No, I
back
want
and
to know,
forth?
have
I
you
do have a
been to,
question.
because he said, okay, see, he don't, no, I'm sorry. He has
Lakeisha, I
no,
have a question
you.
before we keep going on with
sure.
this
She
argument.
asked me a
No,
question. Now, please answer.
Yes.
I want
Before we
everyone
Oh,
to
yeah,
continue
mute.
with
I,
this
Quiet.
I want
argument, let's
Lakeisha,
I
go
don't
mute
want to
up.
back to
argue
the
with
Risky,
yes.
her.
mute
topic.
up. Pistol, mute up. All right, I'll mute you if you don't. Just mute up, everyone. Mute up. Wild Indian, finish what you're saying, then we're going to move to Tranquilla.
All
Finish
right,
what you're saying, Wild
that's
Indian.
cool. Hey, man, I appreciate you, man. Finally, man, I get some respect up here on this panel. Good gracious. Anyway, like I was saying though, man, you know, a lot of our people have land out here. Like I was saying, this is my grandmother on my father's side. She has land still out here. On my mother's side, I have land out here as well. You know, and this has been land that's been passed down in the family for generations. So, I mean, as far as I know, slaves weren't able to own anything out here, especially not land. Can anybody show me or tell me any slaves that own land out here in the Americas? I'll wait.
Well, for me, when we can tell us, we think we'd get past that when we say it wasn't only slaves.
But at the same
It
time,
was
though,
only
I
slaves
mean,
that brought African people around here. So when you say that kind of like you ignore when we keep on saying that. You know, Kyo, we say that people still ignore that. You see me? But
No, my people were slaves and they owned land. So I
they
don't know what you're
did.
talking about, sir.
They did.
Yes, they did.
Can you show
Yes,
me? Can you
they,
show me
I
that
am,
land patent?
we still do. I'm from Texas too.
Can you
I don't
show
know where
me
you're
that?
from
Can,
Texas,
can you
but
show
I'm,
me
I'm
your
from
land
Texas
patent?
too.
Can you show
I'm
me
from
that
Texas
land
too.
patent?
Oh my God, sir. It's a lot of people
I
that
mean,
own land.
you're avoiding the
My
question, man.
people
I'm
own
asking you a
land. They
simple
still do.
question, man. I'm
They
just,
still
I'm
do.
not
I'm from
gonna
Marlin, Texas.
cheat. I'm just trying to
Okay,
have
I'm
a
not.
simple
And
Sir,
I
I,
conversation. You said
it's not our land. It's so they could take it. They want
There's
us to
four,
not have ties to this land.
there's 400,000 people in Belize today. It's not an extensive history to know a land and all this type of stuff. We've not been. The stuff is still there. It's like we still have a place where Mayans are kept and nobody interbreeds with the Mayans. You can see the Mayans there, and you can see the Garifuna mixing with the different people and the mestizos that come out. You can go watch it for yourself. I'm not going to argue with you. I'd like you to
Sure.
go search up Belizean history and add it into your conversation, but I don't
If,
hear it popping up because there's
if,
a very pivotal point in that.
okay, so you saying that these people have been touched. If those Mayans that you say have not been touched don't look like the same copper colored Mayans with locks in their heads, then those are not the same Mayans, sir. Clearly they've been
What are they?
touched.
What are they? What are they?
Asians, Siberians, Mongolians.
You know, these people can trace back their ancestors for generations, right? The same
So
thing
why?
that you're claiming to us. You're saying this right now, and you're saying a blanket statement. But did you know about those group of Mayans? Do you know about where they are, the protests, the
Yes, I
healthcare that
do.
they? Do you know anything about them?
Yes, I do. So if they have not been touched, sir, why are their skin not brown and why are their locks not locked with nappy hair like yours
So
if
when
they
did
have
they
not
get
been
there?
touched?
When did they get there?
Yeah, when did they get there? Why don't
I'm
they look
asking
like?
you. You said you know about Belizean history. When did they get there? Because I know when my father spoke to them. I know when my grandfather spoke to them.
Okay, well, sir, I keep answering your questions, but yet you have not answered mine. You said
Actually, you did
this.
not answer his question.
Yes, I have. Kiki, please stay out of this. I have been very respectful, sir.
Wait, it
You
wasn't
just
me.
said
You're
It
not going
wasn't
to do.
me.
You know what,
you
Kuma?
you
I'll
just
reach out to
said
y'all later because you know I don't do ignorant women. Like,
Bye.
I
Go
love
ahead.
y'all.
yeah, this is
Bye.
Just leave.
crazy.
We don't need to
This
hear
is
your
weird.
personal feelings. We
Love
don't
you
give a
too
This
damn.
is
much,
weird
sister.
because
Love you
even
too
when
much,
she's
Here's
talking,
the
sister.
thing. No,
Mm,
before I go real quick,
Care
I'm gonna
about the
say
it's
this.
weird.
person.
I'm tired of people coming up
Hey,
on
hey,
social
Kuma
media
and
with
Pence
their fake
conversation was actually
education
it was
and,
good. Y'all should keep
and
going.
putting out
All that other
misinformation.
stuff is
No,
Like,
she's
irrelevant.
not
stop it.
saying anything. And what she's talking about happened way, way after Columbus. And what he's talking about, that was like on Columbus's third or fourth voyage, is what he's
I'm
talking
still
about.
talking about Columbus.
And they were, and their lineage is Africa. It was.
Still talking
Okay.
about
Who
Columbus.
is this person that's talking? Who are you? Which one are you on this panel? Because he's right. What I'm saying, he is absolutely right. The girl in the corner, you don't even have a language other than English. Like, what is your tribe? What is your? I'm not understanding what you are even talking about, to be honest, because you're talking about different times in history that you are mixing up. You are mixing up different times in history. You are really erasing other people's history to make your history, which I don't even understand what you are calling your lineage. I don't even understand. Because either you are
So when
indigenous to the
people
Caribbean.
Hold on,
don't
let
have
Hold on,
no
you,
I'm
kind of
talking to
when
her,
people
sir.
don't
Are you her
let,
husband?
yeah,
Are
you're
you
making
her
no sense.
husband?
Rashad, let
Because
you
Why do
most
finish.
of
people
y'all
keep asking
ignorant.
about
Let me
language?
Thank you
finish.
for
Let
calling
me
them out,
finish.
Keisha.
Can I
Thank
Why do
you.
please
people
finish?
why do people
I
keep
just
asking
want
about
to
language? Billions of
Okay, I
dollars
just
are
want
spent
to
to
finish. I just
miseducate
want
the
to finish.
indigenous people in
Either
North
you were
America.
indigenous to the Americas and you were a tribe that was in the America, or you indigenous to the Caribbean. And the markers that we have in history go by pre-Columbus or post-Columbus, okay? That is what we go by, okay? Now, the time in history that she's talking about, Columbus was we're talking about the 1400s. The slave trade, do you know what? That was in the 1600s. That was 200 years, almost 200 years later, okay? What he's talking about, what he said is true. They are descendants of Africa, and they probably still speak their language too. Here, what is your language? Where is your origin? So if your origin was here, and these were tribes, and you were not, and then you were colonized, what was your language before English? And why do you not speak it today? What is your tribe? If you were here and you black, whatever you want to call yourself, African American, American, what was your language before Columbus? What was it?
Think
Yeah,
about the
let me hear
people that
from
Columbus
Tranquilla.
brought with him to
Hold
help
on,
him.
Rashad, don't rush it, man. You'll get a
Okay,
chance.
That's
if
Make me ready.
kryptonite.
Pistol.
Sorry to cut you, but that's kryptonite to them. This is what causes this is what's going to cause hatred. Watch. Question their language, heritage, religion, artifacts, question all that and see what happens.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
What is the artifacts that show? Because every tribe, their artifacts date back to them, and they are connected to that. What are you connected to, and where do you live? What state?
can you put me on a big screen? Cause
No,
I'm
no,
Sure,
about
no.
ma'am.
I'm
Gonna
about
let you
that
go on. I'm gonna
I'm
let you
about
go.
that action.
Chrome.
No,
I'm about that
pistol.
Hey,
action.
Chrome.
Pistol.
I
Hey,
don't do too
Chrome.
much talking. I'm about that action. Let's get it.
All
Put
right.
me on the big screen.
Tranquilla.
Hey, Chrome.
I gotta drop
Chrome.
because I gotta go into work. But I
Chrome.
Yeah,
just wanted to
hold
say
on,
something real
Kiki.
quick.
Kiki, mute up for a minute, Kiki. Pistol, I soon put you on the big screen. Hold on. Tranquilla, go ahead, Tranquilla.
So
Hey y'all, peace, crying. Hey, he said tranquilo.
Yeah.
Peace, crying, Kuma, everybody. Peace to the panel in the chat. I've been listening to this conversation for quite some time while I was driving to work, so I wasn't really able to jump in when I wanted to. But we've been kind of separating ourselves as a people, forgetting that we look at this so African America, African in America, Africa in America. We are so simple-minded when it comes to ourselves as a people because we're actually a global people. You know,
we've been said
the
that.
first people. Hold on, I'm still talking. I'm
But
about to drop.
we already went over that.
I'm talking. How can I make my fucking point? God damn. So anyway, we are a global people. You know, the first people in Australia look like us. The first people in Africa look like us. The first people in America look like us. The first people in Asia look like us. The first people in Europe look like us. Right?
You know that.
So when we break it all down, we exist globally. Of course, there were people in America prior to colonization. Of course, we were in the Caribbean, South America, everywhere prior to colonization, because we are a people that traveled and existed globally. We are a global people, but we all the same people. We all the same fucking neuro-melanated type people. All the same people. So we have to have a specific origin. A specific origin. But I just wanted to throw that into the conversation. And then I got to drop. I got to go to work. Y'all have a great day. I'm getting promoted today. Yay!
Congratulations. Woohoo.
Okay, Congrats.
Making your way downtown.
We are.
Congratulations, hon.
We are.
All right, Pistol, I'm going to let you show where your evidence, and then Kiki, we'll go to you, Kiki.
Right.
So go ahead, Pistol.
We already said what tranquility.
No, I was just saying, bring a black cabinet.
In the
Show your evidence. Show your evidence. Or your
Black
receipt.
cabinet, man. Rise up, black cabinet too.
No, I'm not saying congratulations, because first of all, y'all been rude as fuck. Y'all rude than a motherfucker. And what she said,
Then go, then leave. Oh my God.
I already said.
Why is her feelings so hurt?
30 minutes
Why are
ago.
you the one that sound like your feelings are hurt? Just relax, sit in the corner.
African American. This question don't even apply to
I
her.
don't understand where both of you are
Sit in
part
the
of the
corner.
problem that's going on in this country.
Nah, you're the problem.
Yo,
No, you're part of the problem.
Kiki, hold on.
Federally funded. They're federally
I'm gonna
funded.
leave Throne. I
They
love
are
you. I love you
federally
and
funded.
Kuma. I'm gonna go because you know how I feel about ignorance being spread in this world.
Yeah,
But y'all, I love y'all.
No, don't go.
right.
Don't go.
Bye.
I want you to see what her language is,
Bye-bye.
what her heritage, her culture, who she comes from. I want to see this.
I know.
What is the
Lakeisha,
name
but
of the
at the same
tribe?
time, I don't understand ignorance. So
Yeah, this is weird.
hugs to
It's
you
weird.
too, hun.
Okay, so I have two things to show. I have two things to show. First of all, you keep talking about language and culture. Let's start with the reason why we don't speak our language. It's 10 steps of genocide. Okay. We have been genocided against. It was unalive, keep the man, but unalive the Indian, but keep the man. That's their whole tactic. They didn't want us to know our language, but it is written in stone. Like I said, a lot of us over here spoke Paleo Hebrew, and to back that up, William Penn, the person who bought Pennsylvania, he personally spoke to the Indians of that region and said that their tongue was of Hebrew language. He personally said that. So that's in his book that he wrote. William Penn, look it up. This is stages of genocide. If you don't know about it, this is it. One thing that it was a reclassification by Walter Plecker. And
I want your people, not people who talked about stuff. Your people that was indigenous to here, because you're talking about people who have hypotheses and do conspiracy theories. Your people, ma'am.
This is
that was here before the colonizers. Who are your people? Okay, you giving me people. So this person, this William person, is from your lineage?
William Plecker is a white man.
Is that from your lineage? Is that from your ancestor?
William Plecker is a white man that reclassified the indigenous people from Indian.
I asked you what I wanted. I wanted proof that your ancestors was here on this land pre-Columbus. Your ancestors, other than the tribes that were already here, the indigenous tribes that we know were here. What was, because you're calling yourself an African American, and you're saying that we were already here. Okay, what do you call yourself? Just American?
Ma'am, African American is a misnomer.
Okay, so you call yourself just an American then, right? A Black American. What tribe were you connected to? Because before Columbus, there were tribes. What tribe?
Right. I am part of
what tribe?
Ma'am, I'm part of the Carib and I'm part of Choctaw tribe.
So you're Carib. You're a Carib. You come from the Carib tribe. So that tribe is indigenous to the Caribbean, not to. Okay, so where? Okay, so
you're not letting me speak. So I don't want to do.
I am letting you speak, but see, you're tying in two different things. Like this is African American. The question says African American and the.
You've been wrong since you've been up here, Lakeisha. You might as well just mute your mic.
I haven't been wrong about anything. She just said she's part of the Carib.
Answer a question, Rashad. we can't just get that narrative. So cause me no know about it either. So me a question it. Lakeisha represent what me stand for too. Me no know about what I talk about. Me no know about it. I don't know a damn about it. So we want
But
to know. So
but the thing is, like, how are we having
why you
a
think me
host respectfully? How are we having a question? Like, you can't say
all right.
what's your
Let me tell you
tribe,
though.
and then
Hold
she
on. Let me cut
answers,
you
and
off.
then it's like that's not your tribe. Like, we gotta like.
Rashard,
No,
let me tell you
I
what. You
said
see
she.
the question
Okay, go
that
ahead,
Lakeisha
Toad.
is asking. I'm asking these same question. That's what you need to know. I am asking these same question. Do you understand now?
Get it, but when
Okay.
she answers that, then it is what it is. Like if people know their
But
tribe, then
if she
what's the
says she's from
questions
that
beyond
tribe,
that?
right? If she
Okay,
knows that
so
her tribe and that tribe
But
comes
the
from the
Carib
Caribbean,
was here
then she
before
doesn't know this and
Columbus. She said she was part of Carib. She was
okay,
Carib. That was her tribe. So what?
okay, everybody. I'm answering. I'm
Your
answering
family
two
tree.
questions. I'm answering two
Mm.
questions. Please let me
that
answer the
tribe is from the
questions.
Caribbean.
I'm
Lakeisha,
being so nice.
let her answer the question, though.
I,
Yes,
I'm
yes.
I am being as nice as I can because I've been cussed a lot of y'all out. Please let me talk. Now, the reason why a lot of people don't know their native tongue or don't know their tribes is because, like I said earlier, that's the whole plan. It was to keep the man and unalive the Indian or the indigenous person. Can you please put me back on the big screen? Now it has been record that the indigenous people of America has went through genocide. It been Indian training schools that a lot of people don't know that it was Negroes in those Indian training schools before it was Siberians. And I have documents on that too. Everything I say, I have documents to prove it. And it comes from government documents. Now, this is stages of genocide. I'm not going to read the stages, but this is the one of the most important one was reclassification. We are reclassified. We have been reclassified since the 1400s. The first word that they called us over here were Negroes. That was the first word that they called us over here. We went from Negroes to Indians, back to Negroes, to black, to African American, to Black American. Now they're trying to reclassify us now as BIPOC. We are the only people that have been reclassified since the 1400s, and that is well documented. Well documented. Okay, so that's why we have been genocided against. Anybody that has been genocided against, you need to be asking these Native Americans, well, it's been documented that you have been genocided against. Why do you know your language? And where do they language connect to? Because a lot of their language connects back to Asia. And you can do your own research on that. This is nothing that I'm making up. You can do research on it, not just Google, actual books.
But we've done that, and you're discounting our intelligence or what you think is your intelligence that knows more. Like the idea of reclassification, black changed to white in 1052, long before the 1400s, and it has to do with negro, blanco, black. Blanco is white. Black, BLAC, that was the original. There's two different swaps that happen where the reclassification occurs, where black was pale and pale was slave, it was Slavic. That got swapped over.
Negro, always in any language, Negro means, please put me back on the big screen. In any language, Negro means dark, midnight, black.
Negro is black in Spanish. Negro is black in Spanish. That's what that word is.
Portuguese, Negro is not the only, Spanish is not the only ones who use Negro. Portuguese use Negro. The British use Negro, and every Negro they use, however they say it, Negro, Negrito, it
So then
means
how do we get to black?
dark. It
How do we
means
get to black?
dark.
How do we get to black? Why are people calling themselves black now?
Because it is a misnomer. That's what I'm saying. We have been
The
misclassified. It is
reclassification
a
of the word black.
misnomer. It is a
Black used to mean
misnomer.
slave because it used to mean white, and those people were the Slavics, the slaves. The
Okay.
reclassification happened from back then to turn the Negroes into the slaves, the black.
Before we go on, this is my
So,
biggest
man, what you're
thing.
showing is just a general.
Host,
That,
can you
that this
put
is
your
just
screen
general
back up?
blanket statement stuff. It's nothing to do with you personally.
Okay, wait, host, can you put your screen back up? We are not talking about indigenous teachings right now. Although I respect it, although I am educated
Thank
in what
you.
it means to be indigenous, we are not talking about indigenous people right now. Right now, we are talking about people who are African, Afro descendants of Africa, of the African diaspora, not indigenous. We are speaking about the African people. So if you do not consider yourself African American, or a descendant of African, and you only consider yourself indigenous, what are we doing here? The questions are for and about African descendants. That's what we're talking about. So although I respect you, sister and brother, who come up here talking about their indigenousness, thank you so much. We're not talking about the diaspora of indigenous people right now. At this very moment, questions 1 all the way through 6 is talking about Afro people. So I am very confused of why we've been arguing for the last 2 hours talking about the Indian diaspora.
Thank
Say
you.
one.
Thank you.
Because
Thank you.
can
Hold on.
I please answer that
I know
question?
that speech would
Can
create
I
a bit
please
of
answer
riot,
that
but thank you.
question?
Hold on, Pistol.
Nah, I
Hold
just
on.
want to say
Before
one
we hear
thing. The
from
African
Let me hear
American
from Black
term.
Cabinet. Rashad, now make you talk again. It's been a minute you know come in. But let me hear
Okay,
from
go ahead.
Black
All right.
Cabinet. Black Cabinet, go ahead. You say you want to say something real quick. Go ahead.
No, thank you so much. What the sister just said is perfect. You know, keep your story to your story. Stop trying to change ours. All right, because if you don't know the history of enslavement on the
Thank
Caribbean
you.
islands, especially when Bartholomew de las Casas, when Christopher Columbus and his son all got to the islands, they literally said in their papers, the indigenous people of this inhabitants are all gone, and let's go ahead and bring over the Africans to inhabit this island. So we
That's a
look at the
lie.
Thank
island of
you.
the
That's a lie.
yes,
Oh, God.
that's in the papers. Wait, no, I'm talking. We let you
That's in
talk.
his
I'm gonna talk.
journals.
I'm
That's
telling
in
you.
Columbus
Hey, I'm
journals.
gonna
I
tell
have his
I'm
journal.
telling you exactly what's in the
Oh,
reading. I'm telling
God.
you exactly what's in the reading. They literally said that the people of these islands are not like those of the Africans. They literally said that these people of these accessible to diseases. Let's go get the Africans who have a stronger immune system and bring them over and enslave them on these islands. That is a fact that exactly happened. Now, also, if you also look at exactly what happened with enslavement, when they brought black
Let's
people
do to
over,
make
black people
this
became
cool.
maroon. We became maroon communities, not just in Jamaica, not just in Belize, not just in St. Croix, not just in not in all those. We've always had maroon communities of people that resisted. Once we got here, if you go look at even in Panama, if you go to Veracruz, if you look at people like Gaspar Yanga in Veracruz in Brazil, the largest concentration of Africans were taken to Brazil, where they set up their own communities in places like San Luis de los Negros, which Gaspar Yanga, which is named after him in Veracruz. When the Spanish was bringing us over here way before the Portuguese, where we were actually doing things. If you go look at modern day South Carolina, North Carolina, when in 1526, when the Spanish brought 100 Africans of Angolans to the coast. What happened is those Angolans, they actually resisted. They got with the indigenous people of the island and resisted and fought them and sent them right back into the sea. That is facts that happened. If you look in Panama, the Gabon family, they fought. If you look at what happened even in the islands, where when African people first stepped foot on soil, they fought for the resistance and set up maroon communities. That is the history of our people. So if your people is from here and you want to say that you guys are indigenous here, stop trying to tell us about our history. Stop trying to tell us who the hell we are, because we come from a proud people. We come from a people called the Ashanti, the Yoruba. We come from a people that is ready to fight for our freedom. So do not tell us
Oh,
that
my God.
we are indigenous somewhere else. We are Pan-African, and I stand for Africans all over the world. And we have been everywhere. We've touched and we've graced and we kissed the sun everywhere on this planet. And we've
I
always
hear nothing
resisted.
you
We are
said.
proud
You
people no
lost
matter
me
what.
after a while.
So,
You lost me.
everything you guys are saying, so everything you're saying is 100% cap. Stop trying to tell us that we're indigenous here. Have you done your
Percent
genealogy?
cap.
We are not. And then also,
Come on, man.
I
You got to
want to
keep
say
it
this
real.
last part. I want to say this
Nobody
last part.
told you that.
Understand. Look,
Ain't
Yeah,
history is
nobody
a
he's
ever told
struggle.
making
you
shit
that.
up.
History is a struggle,
Yeah.
not an orgy. Understand this.
You
When
gonna
we
come
say
up here with the,
when we say
and
Indian,
start lying, brother?
stop. I'm talking.
Can
I'm
you
talking.
Let
can
him
you
Stop
put me
lying.
in
talk.
the
Don't
video?
talk over him,
Anyway,
please.
anyway,
Don't
listen to
interrupt.
this. I'm gonna
Don't
say this
Nah,
last
if
interrupt.
thing.
he
I'm
can't
gonna say
come
this
up
last
here
No,
and
thing.
no,
say
no,
that
no,
everything
no,
is
no,
100%
no, no,
cap.
no,
That's
no, no,
foolishness.
no.
Stop. Stop.
Okay. All
Again.
right, but you're still
Now,
not going to interrupt
now,
because
understand
I
this.
Yeah,
been
but
Hold on. Let
don't.
me
trying to
finish
drop
this.
a lot of you motherfuckers
Understand
on this
this.
panel today.
Hold on. Let me finish this. I'm landing the
I
plane.
mean, you
When
feel free.
you
I'm
talk
just
about, hold on,
saying he
wait.
can't.
I'm landing the
How you
plane.
gonna come
I'm
up
landing
here
the
and say
plane.
everything's
You can go
cap?
next. You can say
Right.
anything after me.
And he just
Listen.
talking.
Now,
Okay.
understand this. You must understand.
May I have a big screen? I
Indigenous,
Who,
there's
Job?
nothing wrong with being indigenous. You
Liquor
know,
Why
drop,
did they?
man.
even in my lineage, I can trace back being indigenous, but I can also trace back being African. So again, this
Africans
host
are
and this
indigenous.
panel, okay, let me say this, but right now we're talking about African people. So what do you have to say for African people? And if you feel like you can't speak on being Afro, Pan-Afro, if you feel like you can't speak on it, don't. We're talking about Afro people who are around the world. How can we unite? So when y'all
Okay.
come up here and you're talking about indigenous, it's okay to talk about the indigenous diaspora, but we're not talking about that right now. And it kind of made an uproar on this panel. Right now, we are only talking about Afro people. So if you do not consider yourself Afro, you need to come off of the panel.
But
The
Afro
unification can only happen
Afro
when
people are
we
Fiji people too.
acknowledge
But
the real
Afro
history.
don't just mean African. Afro are any Negro.
That's
So
basically
I
all
mean,
we're saying
right,
is that
Fiji,
Afro is our heritage. That's
Oh
why
my
right.
we're
God.
calling it, this is heritage we're talking about. And the reason why we have to bring up indigenous culture is because you're speaking about African American,
So,
and
can
that is the
somebody in the
misnomer
chat enlighten
that the
me? The
African American
prefix
has been
Afro.
called.
What is the word that
What is the
Afro? Can
root
somebody?
word?
Yeah. What is the? Can
First of
somebody
all,
please look
if
that
we
up?
want to talk about root words and we want to talk about origins of words, let's talk about the word Africa that you
Because
guys are
I
holding
could
so tight
swear
to.
that
And
Afro
I thought the root.
listen,
I,
actually
well,
Africa,
derives
let's
from
keep it real.
Africa
African.
for
No,
Mississippi,
Afri
Africa
means
is,
without code. So the root of Af
come on
is
man.
Afri
What
without
was that
code.
land before it was
Honestly,
named
Okay, what I'm
Africa?
saying is if you're not a
if you
descendant
don't
of
know that, I
Africans,
mean, just
What
look it
was
up. Do
it
your research.
called before it was
Africa,
Africa?
Africa, ka is the land.
That
Afri means
land,
without code,
Who's
so it
speaking?
means a
that
land
Who's
without
speaking?
land
code.
Who's
called
speaking?
before,
stop
Who's
speaking
but
on
the
speaking?
this topic.
The
We
people
are
in
talking
Who's
that
to
speaking?
land
people
don't
who are
call it
descendant of
Africa.
Africans.
People in the land don't call it Africa. Get some Africans on here so that you can hear them say they call the land. The land
All right. Who
before
else?
it was called
Because
Africa.
I'm tired. Thank you. Who else? Because I'm tired.
Can
We're
I
not
get
going
the
to be
big screen?
misinforming Black people. I'm not about that life. I'm
It's
not
not
about that
about
life.
misinforming.
You want to go and pick
Y'all are
up
doing just
white
what the
supremacist
Caucasians
talking
do.
points
Y'all
from
doing just
online
what the
forums that
Caucasians
were
do.
created over the
Y'all don't
last
want to
10,
have
15
open
years.
dialect.
Go
Y'all
and do
would
that
rather
somewhere else. But
argue.
I'm not going to put
Y'all
up
would
with it
rather
here. I'm
argue.
sorry.
Y'all would rather
We're creating a
argue
space
What
where
we're
we
instead of
want to
having
make
saying,
sure
open
that our children,
conversation. That's why we don't learn anything
we're
as a
creating a
people.
space where we want to make
That's
sure
why
that
we
our
don't learn
children are being
anything.
equipped and armed with the correct information to protect themselves and their families when they come up. We're not doing this misinformation bullshit that is going to literally get our kids unalived. We're not doing that.
Our kids get unalive now thinking they from Africa.
okay, but you just said that you don't feel like
No.
Africa.
Can I
Down off the panel.
can I
This
show
topic is about African people.
can I show something real
Step
quick
down.
on the screen? This is actually a dictionary, Webster dictionary from
Enough is enough.
since we like information. I just wanted to share the definition real quick. Hold on a second.